We do buy some energy, which is necessary for our energy security. But I suspect, looking at the figures, probably our total purchases for the month would be less than what Europe does in an afternoon.
Because of the support from the subcontinent and the Middle East, right? So USA is now pleading India that please, we want you, we need you, because in this changing global world order where Russia and China is now absolutely humiliating and defeating the United States of America.
Before you said you're a diplomat, but several weeks ago you called Pakistan, your neighbor, the epicenter of terrorism.
Well, I did it again today without using the word Pakistan.
Yes, and this doesn't sound very diplomatic, does it?
So we will partner with you and leave aside Pakistan for now. I mean, which is, such a, this is such a bad thing, right? You take sides not on basis of moral legitimacy. United States of America is taking sides not on basis of moral legitimacy, but just to partner a major player to subjugate a minor player, right? So they are now playing the world like a chessboard, right? The Western colonialism and the Hindutva, these two ideologies have sort of hindered both sides, both parties, to resolve the ongoing conflicts with the Middle East and the Muslims in general. And what is the significance of the US-India partnership and the recent visit by the Indian Prime Minister to the United States of America? So before I highlight this US-India ties, let me first remind you that in the past 12 months, remember when the Minister for External Affairs of India, Jaishankar, was being and India in general was being pressured by United States of America and the European Union on the issue of oil purchases from Russia. Remember that? Just have a listen.
If you are looking at energy purchases from Russia, I would suggest that your attention should be focused on Europe, which probably we do buy some energy, which is necessary for our energy security. But I suspect, looking at the figures, probably our total purchases for the month would be less than what Europe does in an afternoon. So you might want to think about it.
Yeah, so I think Jaishankar did a very good job here, and targeting the European Union and the United States of America, that it is their self-interest to purchase oil from where they want to, whether it's Russia or whatever other country. I think they did a good job. India did a very good job, and the USA and the European Union didn't like it. However, now I think after much confusion in the think tanks of the United States of America, I think they must have decided that they should not put so much pressure upon India on these issues, because India is a very important political player in the chessboard, in the entire chessboard of global politics. India is a very important player. So that's why the United States of America wants to continue their relationship with India, continue their good relationship with India, and this issue of these underlying issues of India purchasing oil from Russia and all these kind of issues, they want to sort of fade away somewhat. So basically, United States of America is now pleading India to support them. so which is a very good thing, because in so many years, I mean, after Western colonialism, so many years of Western colonialism, uh, I always like to, portray that the Middle East and the subcontinent is the most are the most important players in all the world politics. The direction where the Middle East and the subcontinent goes to, ultimately that becomes the superpower. If Middle East and subcontinent moves towards Russia or China, that will become the superpower. The reason why USA is still the main superpower and the main country in world economy and other things is because of the support from the subcontinent and the Middle East, right? So USA is now pleading India that please, we want you, we need you, because in this changing global world order where Russia and China is now absolutely humiliating and defeating the United States of America, not in terms of global politics, regional politics, but also in terms of economy and other things, internet, social media, also these things. So USA is now pleading and begging to India for for supporting them. And there is another underlying element. I think there is another hidden element behind their friendship so long, which is not openly talked about, and I think it should be openly talked about, is that they have some sort of an inward hatred towards the Muslims in general, or because when we talk about United States of America government, the USA government, USA has sort of continued to create this illegal occupation issue of Palestine, and India has also continued to create this problem of the illegal occupation of the Indian occupied Kashmir, right? And both these issues, I mean, United Nations made a very strong stance on these to resolve these issues. But so both these countries also have this in common, that one side has illegal occupation on Palestine, combining with Israel, USA, Israel, Joe Biden and Israel partnership, Joe Biden and Netanyahu partnership. So one side has illegal occupation in Palestine, the other side has illegal occupation in Kashmir. So they have this thing in common as well, which keeps them together. And in the past 12 months, not just 12 months, about 5 to 10 years now, India has been always condemning Pakistan of these terrorist elements, always condemning Pakistan, that they will not talk about Kashmir, they will not have good ties with them until or unless they don't resolve their terrorist elements, which is another way of saying that we don't want to become your friends. And I think this is a poor strategy from India. The Western colonialism and the Hindutva, these two ideologies have sort of hindered both sides, both parties, to resolve the ongoing conflicts with the Middle East and the Muslims in general. So I would advise India and the Indian government to have good relationships with Pakistan as well in future. I think if India can have a nuanced view, and they are having a nuanced view in looking at your self-interest first, whether it be in partnering with USA or Russia or China. I think if India in the global changing world order moves away from United States of America and more towards Russia and China, and the Middle East and subcontinent follows, I think that may be a better future. And if India develops good relationship with Pakistan, that may also be a very good thing for the future.
More than 2 decades after 9/11 and more than a decade after 26/11 in Mumbai, radicalism and terrorism still remain a pressing danger for the whole world. These ideologies keep taking new identity and forms, but their intentions are the same. Terrorism is an enemy of humanity, and there can be no ifs and buts in dealing with it. We must overcome all such forces sponsoring and exporting terror.
Before you said you're a diplomat, but several weeks ago you called Pakistan, your neighbor, the epicenter of terrorism.
Well, I did it again today without using the word Pakistan.
Yes, and this doesn't sound very diplomatic, does it?
No, because you are a diplomat doesn't mean you're untruthful. I could use much harsher words than epicenter.
Sure. I would say, first of all, that we remain committed to working with Pakistan to address the shared threat posed by terrorist groups throughout the region. The Pakistani people have suffered tremendously from terrorist attacks over the years. We do recognize that Pakistan has taken some important steps to counter terrorist groups in line with the completion of its Financial Action Task Force action plans. This includes the arrest and conviction of Sajid Mir. Moreover, we commend both Pakistan and India for continuing to uphold the ceasefire along the line of control. At the same time, however, we have also been consistent on the importance of Pakistan continuing to take steps to permanently disband all terrorist groups, including Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and their various front organizations. And we will raise the issue regularly with Pakistani officials and will continue to work together to counter mutual terrorist threats, as we discussed during our March 2023.
Yeah, so let me tell you why this, Pakistan thing is such an important thing, because the United States of America, after India has continued this narrative of Pakistan has these terrorist elements, and USA is now also calling out those elements as terrorists, to whom India labeled them as terrorists, the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Lashkar-e-Jhangi, which is huge, because Pakistan did not call these groups as terrorist groups, right? So USA is now totally submitting to India, totally pleading India, and we will be against Pakistan on those issues on which you are against Pakistan, as if to say that, hey, we are on your side, we are not on the side of the Muslims. So USA is playing the part of hating Muslims and Pakistan, just as the Indian government has the narrative, similar to the narrative of the Indian government. So they are now calling those elements as terrorists who India is calling them as terrorists, which is an equivalent way of saying that, we will support you, we will be against Pakistan and the Muslims, just because we know that you are an important player in the global changing politics, you are an important player in global politics, you have, you have the number game, the strength in numbers, so we will partner with you and leave aside Pakistan for now. I mean, which is such a, this is such a bad thing, right? You take sides not on basis of moral legitimacy. United States of America is taking sides not on basis of moral legitimacy, but just to partner a major player to subjugate a minor player, right? So they are now playing the world like a chessboard, right? I mean, human beings are not meant to be played like this. We have certain things in our foundations, like morals, moral values, social values, religious values, cultural values. These are our moral foundations, right? And we should not allow United States of America to hinder the rights of one side just because they can have global dictatorship of this world. And I think India needs to be aware about this, and India also needs to take a nuanced view on these issues. India, I think, can do wonders if they develop good relationships with Pakistan. If India develops good relationship with Pakistan, I think that can be a great thing in future, and a great thing in the upcoming years and even decades of stability in the region of the subcontinent and the Middle East. And with that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.